Okay, platypuses, today in English we're going to do a Grammar Masters lesson. And we're going to be doing something called the present tense, and it's called the simple and progressive. And don't worry about that, you will understand what those words mean by the end of the lesson. And we're going to do it with Bella the giraffe. And remember your challenge, can you spot Grandmaster Tiger on your learning journey? Okay, so the present tense. Look at this sentence. I run quickly down the street. This means you are doing it now, okay? The word run is a verb, okay? It's a doing word, it's an action, okay? And it means that you're doing it now. It's in the present tense. He swims in the pool. Swims, again, this is the verb, okay? And it tells us that it's in the present tense. It means that he is doing it now, okay? Put a he at the beginning of that sentence. She looks at a book. This means she is doing it now. We laugh at the funny joke. This means we are doing it now, okay? These are all in the present tense. They all have verbs, okay? The ones in blue are the verbs. We laugh, it's an action word, it's a doing word. Okay, so present tense uses the verb's root word. So for instance, I swim, okay? It only changes depending on who is doing the action, okay? So that's the person, it could be, you could call it the subject, so I or he. So for example, he swims or she swims, I swim, okay? So decide for the following if walk or walks is correct. So you have some subjects here, okay, telling us who is doing the action. You've got I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Now you have to decide whether it is just walk or whether it is walk. So I walk or I walks, okay? So you can pause the video and you can write these down or you can just say them out loud, okay? And then we'll check the answers together, okay? All right, let's check the answers. Let's see how you got on. So can you see? I walk, you walk, he walks, she walks, it walks, we walk, they walk. Okay, so you just had to decide whether it was just walk or walk. So it has an S at the end of this one, okay? Let's have a look. Okay, so add the correct present tense verb to the pronouns so they make sense. Okay, so you have she, I, we, and they. Okay, so we're looking at looking at the present tense verb, and the verb is to laugh. Okay, so you need to decide whether it's going to be laugh or laugh to make that correct. Okay, so off you go. Have a little go again. Either say them out loud, write them down. It is totally up to you. And again, we'll check them together. Right. You ready to check? Let's see. Okay, so can you see? She laughs, I laugh, we laugh, they laugh. Okay, so here's an activity for you to do. Again, the present tense, there are 6 sentences. Add in the correct verb. The verbs are in the box down here, okay, and you need to choose the correct verb to go in these sentences. Can you see that there is a missing word in all of these sentences, and you're going to choose one of the verbs to go in here. Okay, remember that some of the verbs have an S at the end and some of them don't have an S at the end. Okay, so have a think about it, pause the video, write your sentences down and complete the activity, and then we'll check them together. Okay, are you ready to check them? Let's see how you got on. Okay, so let's have a look. The children walk to the bus stop. The dog chases the stick in the park. The children go to the party. The man talks with a strong accent. The bus arrives at the depot a little late. Julie sings in the school production. So hopefully you did really well with that and you have been able to get them all right. Let's move on. Okay, there's another activity here for you. So what you're going to do is you are going to use the verbs there. Okay, so laugh, run, looks and swims. And you are going to practice writing your own sentences using the verbs here. Okay, so again, pause the video before we move on to the next activity. So you can choose any of your sentences, okay, to do this. And this is the work that I would like to see. So you can share that work with me when you've finished, okay? All right, how did you get on with your sentences? We are now going to look at the present tense and we're going to look at the progressive form, okay? So look at these sentences and think about how they are different. So I am walking through the park. I am swimming in the pool. I am jumping on the trampoline. Can you see what happened to those sentences? Can you see how they're different from the ones that we've just been looking at? So here is an example. So you can say I am, you are, he, she or it is, we are, they are. You add the verb and then you add the ing suffix, okay? Let's have a look at another example. So read these sentences written in the present progressive form, okay? Now the progressive form means it's just a continuous action, okay? So I am swimming, you are singing, he, she, it is playing, we are cooking, they are laughing. So they are continuous actions, okay? And it's called it's called the present progressive form, okay? Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to have a go at doing an activity to see whether you can identify the correct progressive form in these sentences. So here are the sentences. So she is swimming in the pool. I am bouncing on the bouncy castle. He is playing with his friends. You are eating a sandwich. We are going to the cinema. Okay, so you will probably need to write these sentences out and then underline the correct progressive form. Okay, so remember, you're looking for the verbs in those sentences to help you find the progressive form. Okay, so pause the video while you do that, and then we'll have a little check of the answers together. Okay, are you ready to check? Let's see how you got on with these. I know it's probably a little bit tricky, but the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you will get at it. So can you see what we've done here? So we've the progressive form is in red. So she is swimming in the pool. I am bouncing on the bouncy castle. He is playing with his friends. You are eating a sandwich. We are going to the cinema. So these are continuous actions, okay? And then what I'd like you to do, so again, in a minute, you will need to pause the video and you are going to write your own sentences using the verbs below. So you've got running, looking, swimming and laughing. So think carefully about when you write your sentences. When you write your sentences, say them out loud afterwards to check that they are correct, okay? And also don't forget your punctuation in your sentences, capital letter and punctuation at the end. Okay, and you can send your work in to me. Okay, so remember that the progressive form simply means a continuous action like these ones: walking, swimming, crying. Okay, so that is the end of our Grammar Masters lesson, platypuses, and I look forward to seeing your work.